What's going on, guys? So I know there's a lot of questions regarding Cleanspark regarding the halt, and we do have an answer. I also want to talk about Bitcoin and the spot ETFs yesterday. We saw a record-breaking day, insane amounts of inflows. Now I posted this to my Discord, but I'll post this down below in the description. Cleanspark did comment on this halt that happened yesterday and today. And as suspected, it has to do with the grid and these warrants. The trading halt is not the result of any issue associated with Cleanspark's business, operations, filings with the SEC, financial statements, or securities. So these warrants were originally issued by Grid, converted into Cleanspark warrants in connection with the company's acquisition on Grid on October 30th. The warrants were to be adjusted to reflect the merger exchange ratio. As a result, the outstanding 13,800,000 warrants are to represent the right to purchase 960,000 shares of the common stock at an exercise price of $165 each per share. That's pretty crazy, but let's continue on. However, the exchange ratio was erroneously applied to the warrants in certain documentation, including the listing application filed with NASDAQ. The company contacted NASDAQ promptly upon becoming aware of this issue. They're working diligently to resolve it and allow trading on Cleanspark shares to continue along with the warrants. So nothing to be alarmed there. I would think possibly that once trading starts, there might be an initial sell-off, initial knee-jerk reaction. Wouldn't be a horrible idea to buy a put as a hedge if we do drop. But let's look at what's going on with these spot Bitcoin ETFs. We did see a record day. This is crazy. Bitcoin investors pour over 1 billion, 1.1 billion into BlackRock's ETF as Bitcoin marks another high. And this is a record-breaking day. Yesterday on November 7, IBIT posted $1.1 billion of inflows, and the days prior it was actually posting outflows. The day before November 7 was actually a record day for outflows, but a day like this definitely made up for it, and then some. IBIT's inflows alone were 82% of the inflows from all the US Bitcoin ETFs. The total, however, together was 1.34 billion in total, a record. Just look at this chart, off the dang chart almost. Look at that inflow. There is not another day like it, and that is very exciting. Q4 is playing out perfectly. Bitcoin is doing what it has done every cycle. Are you surprised? You shouldn't be. Traders anticipate that there will be more significant inflows in the days to come. Expect another massive day tomorrow. Just remember, there are going to be red days. There are going to be pullbacks. There are going to be retracements, and that is perfectly fine. That is healthy, actually. That is good. And today is looking like it could be that day, a slight down day or just a flat day. So far, pretty boring. Bitcoin is essentially flat, and it looks like it's trying to establish, it's trying to consolidate above its all-time high. We want to see this. This is awesome. And I do think it's kind of following this pattern still. It is still playing out. We could potentially pull back, follow all-time high just right above it until we break higher. We could pull back pretty hard and work towards the last cycle high. Like I told you guys yesterday, there's bearish divergences. Look out. The RSI on the daily, we have 3 tops here. I would say this is a triple top while the price is just boom, boom, higher, higher, higher. That is definitely a bearish divergence. And let's see if we can get it on any other time frames. You have price trying to rise while RSI is dropping on the 4-hour. You have price sort of trying to rise still while price is dropping on the 4-hour. Let me make it a little more clear for you guys. See those consistent lower highs? And on price, we're seeing consistent higher highs. This is a bearish divergence, and it's on multiple time frames for Bitcoin. We might see a little cool down over the weekend. We might see a little healthy retracement, or at least some sideways action, which is more than okay by me. And just because I'm mentioning these bearish divergences, this potential to, drop a little bit short term, I'm very, very bullish on the rest of this year. If we do get a drop, I know it sounds cliche, I know it sounds so annoying, and I know I say it all the time, but these are those buying opportunities on these pullbacks. Are we going to get another 49K Bitcoin like back in August? I don't think so. These are these buying opportunities. Not as great as in August, not as great as some of these major pullbacks, but I do still see this as some last buying opportunities, although you're definitely getting later and later to the party. From here, I still expect Bitcoin to do somewhere around a 2x. Maybe it does more than that. But we get to a point where, are you really going to expect a 2x out of Bitcoin? Are you really going to expect a 3x out of Bitcoin? I think there are still some great gains to be had from Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners, but just realize, as we get later into the cycle, you don't want to chase. You want to follow the cycle. You want to make sure you're trimming profits, at least get your original investment out by mid to late 2025. Take advantage of Bitcoin's volatility. There will be times like it's a rubber band. It just snaps higher. All the Bitcoin miners get extremely overextended, And it might not seem clear at the time, but when there's times like that, you want to just trim a little bit at least. Bitcoin and the miners are volatile. They're going to be huge over extended times, and they're going to be huge under extended times, overextended to the downside, where basically Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners are hot trash and no one wants anything to do with them. There will be crypto winters in the future. Maybe they're a little less severe in the future because of the spot Bitcoin ETFs potentially propping Bitcoin up. But realize there are going to be corrections. There are going to be times that people are trying to avoid crypto. Right now, everyone wants a piece of crypto. Right now, everyone wants to get in before the cycle ends. That's why we're in now. That's why we've been in. And that's why, as long as you follow the cycle with Bitcoin, it's really hard to lose. But thanks as always for watching, guys. What do you think about the spot Bitcoin ETF inflows? That is awesome. Money just keeps piling in. Bitcoin keeps getting taken off of exchanges, keeps getting locked away in these spot Bitcoin ETFs. And a Bitcoin that might seem expensive years ago, in the future will seem cheap. A Bitcoin at 70K last cycle obviously was very expensive. A Bitcoin at 50 to 70K in this cycle is actually cheap. 50 to 70K last cycle was very close to the top. 50 to 70K this cycle, I think, is somewhere in the middle point. Considering we were at 15K in the beginning, and I think we're going to end somewhere around 150K, maybe more, maybe less. Anyways, I've rambled on long enough. Thanks as always for watching, guys. Hopefully you have a good weekend. Let me know what you think about this Cleanspark halt. Were you scared? Were you very, very nervous? If so, you might want to start moving more money into other miners and de-risk yourself, diversify a bit. Nothing is 100%, and despite Cleanspark being my highest conviction miner, it is not the only miner that I hold. There are always variables, there are always uncertainties, and things might not go as you expect. For that reason, you want to have multiple positions, not just Bitcoin miners, but other industries as well. Keep cash on the side for pullbacks. Learn to manage risk. Don't go all in on one stock. And investing is less stressful than otherwise. But thanks as always, guys. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.